Hi, Smith to the Demonbreun Fam. What's up?
Back. So, how do we? I don't know how to start this. We got some debt.
No, that's not how we're gonna start this. Wait, no.
We made some mistakes.
Wait a minute, Joseph, slow down.
Spent a lot of money.
Joseph.
Okay,
guys, that was whatever crass. Yeah. So this is kind of our debt video. I'm gonna put it here. Debt video.
Our debt video.
So this is our debt video.
You mean like I was telling them?
Yeah, but you didn't have to say it like that.
Okay.
Like we made some mistakes. So our marriage was a mistake?
No, you're being over dramatic.
See, I almost got him.
No, you didn't.
But yeah, we just wanted to do a kind of a transparency video. You know, it's great, everything's great, but as y'all know, like people accumulate debt. I feel like it's just really good to be transparent about it because I know a lot of people like to think that like, oh, I wouldn't make that mistake or that wouldn't happen to me, but we think it would happen to us. So here we are.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
don't look at my toes. I just don't want them to look.
Anyway,
of course we started with school debt. You come with your own debt, probably more than likely than not. So we both had accumulated school debt, which we were dating at that point, but obviously we were not sharing expenses. We were not married. So yeah, we came with our school debt. My total in school debt by the time I graduated was $10,840.
And mine was about $3,000.
Joseph dropped out at one point. He ended up getting back into school. I convinced him, and I was like, I'll find you scholarships. I applied for everything known to man.
I literally changed two things on my FAFSA. That
yeah.
I was getting paid $3,500 a semester cash plus a full ride to go to college. They paid for everything.
But before that, before I started dating him, he was paying out of pocket to go to school.
Regardless, I didn't have to take too much debt out at the time. Now I am.
Yeah. So it wasn't too bad. So anyway, that's how we accumulated in terms of school. So $10,800 for me, $3,000 for him, which is not bad. Mine might seem bad, but I know people with way more school debt than that. And I was in college 5 years, so not really mad about it. I started off having to take out loans when I first got to school. Soon after, I did not have to anymore because I became an RA, which basically it paid me, it paid for my schooling, basically it paid for my food, my housing. So that was very good. But then I ended up going into a specialized program, which I needed to focus, so I quit being an RA. So that was my MLS program, which is what I do now. I'm a medical laboratory scientist. And so, yeah, that's where I accumulated that kind of last bit of like big debt.
And it's not like she couldn't have paid it off if she wanted to, because she definitely could. Like, what she does pays well. So it was one of the few cases where like it had worked out for a college student. Yeah,
like I said, once again, transparency. I came out of school making $32 an hour as a MLS.
In Tennessee, which is one of the lowest paid for MLS.
Yeah, so it's not a bad gig at all. And as you guys know, or I don't know, I think we've mentioned to you guys, I travel now, which is a lot more money. I bring in about 6 figures by myself a year. So over or under, it depends on how much I decide to travel or how much time I decide to take off. Either way, it's still a pretty good thing, but I do have to travel to make that much. If I'm not traveling, you gotta stop spending that thing. Boy, I'm going crazy. I saw a bug. If I'm not traveling, I'd make around, the 70K and 80K range. But yeah, so still not a bad gig at all. I could pay my debts off with all of that. We got engaged while I was still in school. We didn't focus on it then, which I'm glad we didn't. But then after school, we decided to have our wedding.
Yes.
That's where we ran into some issues.
Yes.
You don't know until you know how much a wedding costs. A lot of people do their weddings cheap, but not a lot more people than not don't.
Like, we knew it would be hard, so we're like, okay, let's tamper down the budget. We set a budget. What was our budget? Like 15?
Yeah, it wasn't bad, y'all. It wasn't like 15 grand seems like a lot, but it's not bad, especially if you consider you only want to get married once and you both, feel that way.
And we underhit it. Like, we at first, after we budgeted everything out, we were hitting 12. So we're like, okay,
12,
cool.
13, yeah.
It was the random expenses afterwards, the random crap that came up last minute.
It's a mosquito.
So the random things that came up last minute, and it was us having to move from place to place using our credit card because we didn't have cash, because we were paying for a wedding, because we didn't plan it out accordingly.
Well, it was also more than that. It was just that there's so much stuff that goes in a wedding. I just wasn't able to keep track of it all. Before I knew it, I was already way head over heels into it all. It was not the.
I hope you're head over heels.
It was not the best way to have planned a wedding, and I did it with no help other than me and Joseph. So I didn't have really a wedding planner. Nobody in my family has even been married, so no one really helped us there. It was just kind of me and Joseph. No one helped us pay for it either. No one gave us anything on our wedding. We paid for our wedding. Actually, I will say that. I think your grandma and your mom gave us some money, but that was like more personally. Yeah. But we just put it on the wedding.
They told us to use it on the honeymoon, which we definitely did.
Yeah, and we also took a honeymoon to Bali. We did not have to do that.
Okay.
We took a honeymoon to Indonesia for 2 weeks.
It wouldn't have been that expensive, but by the time we got to Bali, we were so stressed from the wedding. We're just like, we need this time for us. So we didn't ball out.
No, we definitely didn't. I think, honestly, we still did okay in Bali. I think we still spent way more on the wedding than we did Bali, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I would have spent more in Bali if I could have.
I think in Bali, we were there 2.5 weeks. We spent, what, $5 to $7 grand?
No.
No?
No,
How much did we spend?
Definitely not that.
What did we spend?
I thought it was like $1,500, $2 grand.
No, because you got to consider plane tickets.
No, I'm not considering plane tickets. Well, I guess
one of them got taken out because of my credit card points. I turned my credit cards.
Yeah, so I guess if you consider plane tickets, to go to Bali is like $1 grand a person. So the tickets are really high. But other than that, doing stuff there, no, we did not spend a lot of money in that course. We had already pre-planned the ticket there. You know, we had been planning it since we were getting engaged because we knew that's where we wanted to go.
$4 grand.
Honeymoon.
It was around $4 grand.
So maybe around $3-4 grand in total if you include flights and everything we did, which is not bad. 2 weeks out of the country, guys. 2 weeks.
At nice resorts and hotels.
Nice. Like stuff you've never seen in the U.S. Stuff. We were looking at going to a Sandals resort. That shit was like $8 grand. And it wasn't even for no 2 weeks, y'all. It was not no 2 weeks. It was like a 4-day vacation or like a week. It was ridiculous. So I think we did much better in the terms of that. But yeah, like I said, our wedding, I think in total, if we look back, we might have accumulated 20 to 30 grand from everything, from starting to move around to planning our wedding to moving again
to last minute expenses
to our car breaking down. Yeah, like for everything, it accumulated.
Oh yeah, everything wrong that could have happened over the summer did. We'll probably go over that in detail in another video, but just know there were a lot more unexpected expenses than we were expecting to unexpect.
Yes, and that goes back to our point. You should expect the unexpected. We should have had.
Well, we did, and we still got screwed.
No, we didn't, y'all. I will say that me and Joseph did not. We did not save up a big reservoir for our wedding before we had it. No. We were just like, oh, let's start planning our wedding. And so I just started taking checks I was getting and putting towards the wedding and just paying it that way. But it was never like I saved up the money and specifically put it aside for my other money. No. So this is where everything came into problems, where I was spending all of my money, my checks on the wedding, basically majority of, other than our bills. So it didn't leave me anything for savings. We had no savings. Guess what? We still have no savings.
We get a little bit.
Yeah, so that's where we messed up right there. We did not pre-plan to put money aside for this wedding. Yeah, so I think that was not smart.
Well, I think we've given them the basic idea. Do you want to go over the numbers?
Yeah, so as of before, this is when we did this back in February, maybe before that, maybe January. We had a total debt of $34,771.37. And then we had a focus debt of $21,000. And our focus debt basically is like any high interest debt, credit card debt basically, and stuff like that. Not our student loans, you know. Back then they were on pause anyway still. But basically we were paying our student loans, just it wasn't being paid off as heavily as the credit cards, because credit cards interest, y'all, it's up there. Had no idea how bad it could be. It will kill you. So now we've done some work. It is now May.
Yeah.
So we went and stayed with my mom so we could pay off some of the debt. Like I said, I make a lot of money traveling, and without my career and my job, I would not have been blessed to do so and take care of us. We have knocked down our total debt to, I'll let Joseph tell y'all. We'll tell y'all what everything.
You mean our focus debt? Because our total debt went up a little bit because I'm in grad school and I took out student loans.
Actually, it went down, just not by much.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, so we'll still tell you, but our total debt, like I said, we're not going to focus on it fully because it includes student loans, which we only pay like $100 a month on it. We're not focusing on that first before a high interest debt that could eat us alive. So
exactly. Total debt $32,378 from $34,771. So down about $2 grand, and that's with me taking out student loans of $5,500 for grad school just for the semester. So
yeah, so
it's I mean, we're going at a good pace.
But we can work better on that, and we will. But tell them about our focus debt. This is where I really showed some work.
No, our focus debt, $13,038 from, I don't have my glasses on. $21,008.
Yes, guys.
And that's in the span of.
That was in the span of 2-3 months.
Yeah.
In 3 months, with what I make at my work, I was able to pay that much off. So how much is that? I'm not good at math.
I'll put the math on the screen. But when we were in Memphis too, I tried working at Topgolf to make money, and they opened up a new one. It wasn't money, and basically it was no help. I should have just gotten an hourly job. I knew better. Regardless, so yeah, that big jump.
Yeah, we also
was all her. It was barely me. That was all her.
Yeah, I guess we also do need to mention that. Yeah, like Joseph does not technically have a career. He graduated with his degree in psychology, but job prospects are not like the best. They don't pay you definitely enough to, have gone to school and go in debt for. It's confusing. It's a lot. I'm sure plenty of people out there have a college degree and don't use it for a certain reason. Well, he uses for the reason of without a master's degree, he couldn't do much.
I didn't realize how skewed the field was too, but that's for a future video. Regardless, I didn't want to use my degree, so I'm just kind of figuring it out. I'm in grad school and I've got other things going on, so yeah.
Yeah. So I did have to pay for our wedding myself. So given the case, I probably should have been a lot more frugal for how much I spent if I was doing it by myself and we weren't being able to go 50-50. But it's, like I said, it still worked out. Thankfully, like I said, I make to the equivalent of 2 people's incomes, which is maybe where I got in over my head in the first place, guys. Because even with that and this economy, is if you don't budget and you don't put away and save, it doesn't really it didn't help me out in the end, as you can see. And I have been having to pay off our debt kind of by myself. Joseph is just not being able to help. We are kind of back home now and settled, so he's working and he's able to definitely contribute on that end and making sure he takes care of stuff in the house. He makes sure I have everything I need for work, because like I said, when you're traveling, you work crazy hours in crazy places, whatever. So there's always something going on with me.
And I'm working now. So.
Yeah, and he's working now. So, and he's in school. And he's in grad school. So yeah, we're definitely doing a lot. But y'all, in about the span of 3 months, I did to a $9,000 difference. That's crazy. I paid $9,000 in 3 months.
It's really good.
Off in debt. So that means we didn't go out to eat. We barely went anywhere. I think we didn't go out to eat. We didn't go anywhere. Well, we went out to eat only on 3 occasions, which was...
We did more than that. But we did have a very high coffee budget because there was nothing else for us to do in Memphis, and we didn't really feel safe going anywhere. So
it was even if we felt safe, there wasn't really much that was our speed anyway.
Yeah.
It wasn't really which is great for paying off debt. Go somewhere where you don't want to spend money anyway. So we just went to work and to coffee shops. That's all we did, and hung out with my family.
And it was great.
Yeah, and it allowed us to pay off debt. So that was great.
That's also with us paying rent to her family too.
Yes, I was paying, and we were still paying our bills.
Yeah.
So I was still paying our bills as well. So it was still a lot of work. So all the same, but I just was able to dedicate a lot more. I will say when we came here, we didn't put as much towards at all, which is why this is where we still are. We'd be further down if we were able to put $9,000 towards it now, obviously. But we were not able to for a few reasons. One, we decided to save $5,000 to come here. We like to save money in between contracts so we can travel back and forth, or else we'll go back into debt again. So it's smarter to just save the money rather than going back into, because between contracts, sometimes I'll have a month off between getting the contract, moving to the place where the contract is, and getting all my paperwork and everything done to start the job can take a long time, y'all. So that means we can be without money for a while, and we still have our monthly bills. So we like to save at least around $5,000 or more to do so. And also, you got to pay deposits for places you're staying with. But we did come here and decided to get an apartment, which took all our $5,000. So we had to pay deposit, first month's rent, renter's insurance. We had to get furniture because this is an apartment.
And then decided, so we got this place as a home base because you have to duplicate expenses.
And we decided now that we don't want to live here anymore.
Yeah.
So we're not going to.
And now we're breaking our lease and we're spending $4,000 to do it.
Yes. Which seems, like I said, could seem irresponsible once again. But like I said, it's hard to really weigh it all. When we were doing this before, we didn't have a place to stay. So it just made sense to get a place to stay. And that's all we could think about. Oh, we wanted somewhere to stay, you know. So we got somewhere to stay. But then we realized that, because we do have time in between contracts. And we have nowhere to stay during them. Other than like our parents' house or somebody we know. So, yeah, an apartment seemed like a good idea. And honestly, we could keep our apartment and we could stay here. But we won't be here 3 months at a time. Probably most of the year.
Yeah.
And that means we'd end up paying like $16,000 at the end to not be here. So we're breaking the lease and paying $4,000 instead. So pish posh. We don't really get what we want, but we also don't like. So it's not really a perfect balance. But yeah, it's a better. I think
we're learning as we go along. So.
Yeah, we're learning a lot.
And I'm glad we're figuring this out now and not whenever we have kids. So.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're going through this too. Like I said, of course, nobody wants to go in debt, and you know. But if we never would have done this, I've never had any substantial debt of this amount, and neither has he. Neither one of us ever has experienced anything like this. So we know we will never do this again. It's not happening again. I promise y'all that. If it is debt, I'm gonna say it will be debt we want to use to buy stuff like assets that will give us money. I won't know. Yeah. But I will not do this one. A wedding, a birthday, none of that. No. So yeah, I think that's kind of like where we are on that. But all in all, we're doing pretty well. We should be finished paying off our debt around about the time when we got married. So basically a year in circle. Yeah. So it would have taken me a year to pay $30,000 in debt. And I won't say 30, 34 basically, because we're only doing the focus debt. Our student debt will still be left after this. But then I'll tackle that. And with the money I make, I can probably pay that in like 2 months. If I really dedicated to it. So
if you really, really wanted to.
Yeah, if I really wanted to, I could do it. But yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, we love y'all. We're glad to see y'all again. We hope y'all are glad to see us. And we're about to hang out and watch Bridgerton. So take some time to ourselves.
Yeah, we would love this new season. And we have 3 weeks left, not in our apartment, but in our assignment. And so we're trying to figure out where we want to go next. Or if we just want to move away and go because like I said, it's been just a lot with this debt. It's been a lot on us, but I think we've been pretty strong in the face of it all. And I do think this is definitely a downfall on our part. We have not come from the most financially sound families. Everything we learned about money, we learned together. But we've gotten so much better. Now we budget. As soon as we get done with our debt, we're going to focus on a 6 to 12 month emergency living.
Yeah. And then really go into our investments with whatever we want to do.
Yeah. So by this time next year, guys, we could be in a whole nother place if we just keep this up.
Well, physically a whole nother place, obviously, but like.
Well, yeah, physically, but also financially and mentally, because we're working on a lot. Our relationship with God, our relationship with each other. It's a big thing for us. And getting through something like this also further proves, like, you know, watch who you marry, because like we've done great together in all this. Yeah,
really have.
Yeah, it's been a really big stressor, but I don't think I could have done it without Joseph.
Likewise.
Yeah, so
pretty good. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, he picked a wife who spent all her money on a wedding.
I picked a wonderful, wonderful person to marry.
Yeah, and our wedding was beautiful, guys. I don't know if y'all saw the wedding video, but we uploaded it. Go look at it, man. It was worth every penny.
I'll tag it at the end of this video.
But I will say there's a better way you can do it. Like, please. If I would have known, like I said, you just don't know if you don't know. We had our dream wedding, I will say, and we are happy with it.
We are.
Yes. And we got to go to Bali, which is beautiful. We did not record most of that. We have a little snippets, which we might upload some of that. Joseph has something. But we really should have recorded more for you guys. But we really just wanted to enjoy our honeymoon, which I'm sure you understand. Not every time in life do we want to be recording. Which gets back to why we actually have not been on here in so long. We've been dealing with this debt. So that's why you guys don't see us as much. It's just not been such a priority of ours as like kind of stressing on getting ourselves where we want to be in life, because we want to have a family and we want to move and all these other great things. So yeah, but thank you guys for supporting us and loving us and being part of the Demonbreun Fam, because we're no longer Smith or Demonbreun, which I said that earlier. We're the Demonbreun Fam now, guys. So I finally changed my last name. It took me only 6-7 months.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just having fun.
I know you are. You can keep going. My bad.
No, we're good. We're done. Okay, you can close this out again.
We all thank you for watching. We're glad to see y'all. We really hope y'all are glad to see us. And yeah, we have stuff for y'all coming up in the future. I'll just leave it at that.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.